Have you ever stopped to think about those invisible forces? The ones that kind of shape our lives without us really noticing. We get gravity, obviously. You can't see it, but you definitely feel its pull, right?
Yeah.
It affects everything.
Totally. It's undeniable.
But what if there are other principles? More subtle ones, maybe, but just as powerful, influencing our experiences all the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, today we're really diving deep into something fascinating. It's this area that often, it goes unnoticed, but its influence is genuinely everywhere. We're talking about the 12 universal laws, drawing heavily from Manhardeep Singh's exploration.
Right.
Now, I bet almost everyone listening has heard of the law of attraction, yeah.
Oh, for sure. It's huge.
Well, hang tight, because that one, it's really just the tip of the iceberg, like a tiny piece of a much bigger picture.
That's exactly it. And our goal for you today, really, is to go way beyond just knowing about that one law.
Yeah.
We want to help you see how all 12 of these laws connect, how they form this, comprehensive roadmap for mastering life on all levels.
It's roadmap. I like that.
Yeah. Think of this whole deep dive as maybe a shortcut, a way to get properly informed about these ideas. We'll give you practical insights, those aha moments, hopefully.
Without the information overload.
Exactly. No overwhelm. We're focusing not just on what they are, but why they matter together. And crucially, how you can actually start using them, integrating them into daily life.
To feel better, happier, more successful.
Precisely. To boost well-being, happiness, success. It's about moving from just knowing about them to really understanding how they work through you.
Okay, so the word law usually makes you think of, legal stuff, rules written down, enforced.
Right, speeding tickets, contracts.
Yeah, but the sources we looked at define these universal laws completely differently. They're described as intangible, like you can't touch them, but they're absolutely binding forces.
Intangible yet binding. Interesting.
It makes me think of gravity again, You don't feel it like wind, but its pull is always there for everyone. It sets the stage for how abstract but how real these 12 laws are.
Mm-hmm.
The material highlights 3 core things about them. First, like we said, intangible. They exist, they affect everyone, but you can't physically touch or see them.
Their influence is felt, even if their form isn't.
Exactly.
And building on that, the second thing is they're boundless. They're not stuck in one place, not limited by borders or countries.
Right.
They operate everywhere,
Yeah.
universally. The source says, just like air,
Yeah.
always there. It doesn't matter where you are. It's what makes them truly universal.
Okay, so intangible, boundless. What's the third?
And third, they are timeless. This was pretty mind-bending.
Yeah.
These laws have always existed. They're working right now, and they always will be. What changes isn't the laws themselves. It's us. Our realization of them, our awareness of how they work.
So we're discovering them, not inventing them.
Precisely. It's a journey of discovery.
That's a really key point. And it's interesting how our collective understanding has shifted. You mentioned the law of attraction earlier.
Mm-hmm.
It got super popular, didn't it? Mostly because of The Secret, that film and book from back in 2006.
Oh yeah, Rhonda Byrne. It really put the idea on the map for millions.
It did. But what our source points out, and this is where The Secret kind of missed the mark, it didn't show the full picture.
Okay.
The law of attraction is powerful, no doubt, but it's just one piece, one of 12 laws that all work together, like a system.
Interconnected.
Totally interconnected. Trying to use just that one law in isolation, the source has this great analogy. It's like trying to catch a fish with a hook but no bait.
Right. You've got the tool,
Yeah.
but not the full setup. You might not get the results you want.
Exactly. You need the whole system.
Makes sense. And when you see them as this whole system, they're described as this blend, an amalgamation of science, spirit, and metaphysics.
So they bridge different ways of understanding the world.
Yeah, exactly. They're like guidelines that help us understand how universal intelligence is organized and understanding them. It has huge benefits, real tangible ones.
Like what?
Well, they help us come to terms with day-to-day life situations, handle things better. They empower us to overcome challenges, help us reframe circumstances to see the bigger picture.
Shifting perspective.
And they give us insights into what we can do to reach our goals.
Yeah.
There's this quote from Novalee Wilder, a numerologist. She says they show us how we ended up where we are, how to trust, and how to use the laws to create flow to get somewhere else.
Creating flow. I like that. It's about conscious creation, not just reacting.
Exactly. Navigating life with more intention.
And here's something really fascinating, especially for people who think this is all just like recent New Age stuff.
Yeah.
Our sources say these laws are ancient. They're believed to be immutable formations of our world, which ancient cultures instinctively knew.
Wow. Instinctively knew.
Yeah. You find hints of them in things like Ho'oponopono, that's an ancient Hawaiian practice for forgiveness and freedom.
I've heard of that.
And they also connect back to ancient Egyptian Hermetic philosophy, like the principles in the Kabbalion.
Right. As above, so below. That comes from Hermeticism, doesn't it?
Exactly. And the incredible thing is how long they've lasted. These laws have truly withstood the test of time.
Shows they're fundamental.
For sure. And people today, practitioners like Heiser and Kumar, they're still working with them, teaching them, shows they're still relevant, not just history.
Timeless, like we said.
So the whole point of this deep dive, really, is to understand how these laws affect you, how they shape your view of the world, and how they offer this roadmap of how we can make the most of life.
Taking the reins.
Exactly. Taking the reins of your own experience.
Oh.
Okay, let's dive into the first law. This is considered the big one, the foundation, the law of divine oneness.
The foundation, right.
Yeah. The core idea is simple, but wow, it's huge. Beyond what our senses usually pick up, every thought, action, and event has something to do with everything else. It's all about the interconnectedness of all things.
Connection.
To make it really hit home, the source gives these great examples. You, your dog, the tilapia you ate for dinner, your boss, and Dwayne, the annoying barista at your local cafe.
Dwayne the barista. Okay, I get it.
The point is, all living things are the manifestation of the same source energy. There's this quote from Thich Nhat Hanh, the Zen master.
Oh, yeah.
He said, people normally cut reality into compartments and so are unable to see the interdependence of all phenomena. To see one in all in one, is to break through the great barrier which narrows one's perception of reality.
Wow. Break through the barrier. It's about seeing the whole web, not just the individual threads.
Exactly. Expand your view beyond just yourself.
And that's so important because it totally challenges that idea we have of living in our own little bubble, right? Where we think our actions only affect us. Divine oneness makes it super clear. Your thoughts and actions affect everyone, period.
Even if it's not obvious right away.
Exactly. Think about the ripple effect. Like, if you have a big fight with a friend, the impact is obvious.
Yeah, pretty clear.
But then think about something small, like holding a door for a stranger. Maybe they're feeling invisible. And that tiny gesture changes their whole mood. Then they interact differently with the next person. You might never know the full impact.
But it still matters.
Totally. The source stresses your actions are important. They both matter and make a difference. It goes deeper, too, into energy. Everything consists of and exists as energy.
We're all energy.
Yeah, particles are constantly flowing between us, everything around us. It means there is no separation. We're breathing the same air, sharing the same energy field.
Wow.
So it leads to this big question for you to think about. How would you behave if you really knew that you were not separate from the life of your friends, colleagues, and every being that has ever existed?
That really makes you stop and think about everyday choices, doesn't it?
It does. And this source energy, people will call it different things, right? Spirit, karma, Buddha, God. But the core idea of connection is universal. Even our own existence, being born, dying, returning to the earth, it shows we're part of these bigger cycles.
Okay, so if everything is energy and we're all connected, then divine oneness means our individual energy affects the whole collective.
Exactly. It has this huge vibrational impact. When you're having a low energy day, feeling down or angry, that vibration goes out into the world.
And it can pull others down a bit?
Potentially, yeah, because we're connected. Your low vibe affects my vibe and vice versa. It's like this massive energy field we're all swimming in.
So if I'm low and you're high,
they tend to balance each other. It's somewhere in the middle. But the flip side is powerful. If you and I consistently try to vibe high, with love, joy, optimism,
we can lift others up.
Yes. Our high vibes might dip a little, interacting with lower ones, but we help raise theirs. There's a net positive effect. The higher we can generally vibe, the more we uplift the collective.
So the secret to a happy, healthy, wealthy, fruitful life, it's not just about my vibration.
It's about yours and the world's vibrations. It's this call to collective energetic responsibility. Your state affects the whole.
Powerful stuff.
It really is. And this law, divine oneness, it's not something you just apply like a tool. It's about living with awareness.
Being conscious of the connection.
Constantly, moment by moment. The advice is to keep this law in mind, always, Ask yourself, knowing I'm connected to everyone and everything, how will I act differently? How will I interact? What can I do today to raise my vibration and help raise others?
Constant reflection.
The key takeaway is, be mindful of your thoughts, actions, and behavior, for they send waves throughout the universe, and since we're all connected, what goes around comes back around in some form.
The energetic boomerang.
Exactly. Choose what you throw.
Okay, so building on that foundation, everything's connected energy. Let's get into the law of vibration.
Right. The next logical step.
And this one has some, actual scientific grounding, which is pretty cool. It says every creature, every inanimate object, every thought, feeling, and desire has its own unique vibration. Science shows this physically, right?
Yeah, like solids vibrating slower than liquids or gases, tightly packed molecules versus more energetic ones.
Or colors. They're just different frequencies of light. Red is lower, violet is higher in the visible spectrum. We can't see things like radio waves, but we know they exist. They carry energy.
Exactly. It's all frequency.
But the really interesting part for us is how this applies beyond physics to emotions.
Ah, yes. The feelings.
Vibrations like love, joy, gratitude. They're described as having a much higher frequency than things like pain, despair, anger.
You can kind of feel that difference, can't you?
Totally. And that's where intuition comes in. When you say, I have a strange feeling about this, or I've got a good feeling, that's often the law of vibration at work. We're vibrational beings sensing other vibrations.
We tune in.
Like Nikola Tesla said, right? If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration.
Classic quote. So, if everything's vibrating, how do you know what your vibe is? And how do you manage it?
Good question.
The source gives this simple check-in method. Ask yourself regularly, what am I thinking? How do I feel? What is happening around me? These three give you a snapshot of your frequency.
Okay.
It describes a low vibration state. That's when you feel stressed, anxious, depressed, sad, angry. Maybe not the most fun person to be around.
We've all been there.
For sure. And then there's a high vibration state. Relaxed, optimistic, eager, grateful. Things just seem to flow better then, don't they? The subway arrives on time, people smile at you.
Life feels easier.
Yeah. And even though challenges happen, the law emphasizes we can always choose our response.
That space between stimulus and response.
Exactly. Someone cuts you off in traffic. You can choose road rage, low vibe, just keeps that negativity going. Or you can choose to take a deep breath, let it go higher vibe. That choice is always yours. It's super empowering.
That choice point, yeah, it's everything. And this connects directly to attraction, doesn't it?
Big time.
The law of vibration says every particle is constantly in motion, carrying energy. From planets down to your cells, even the chair you're sitting on.
Constant movement.
And the key bit is high energy particles naturally coordinate with other high energy particles, as do low energy particles, like attracts, energetically.
Right.
So what does this mean for your goals? If you want a more fulfilling life, more positive stuff, you need to consciously increase your energy frequency.
Raise your vibe.
Exactly. The sources mention things people might already do, like yoga, meditation, sound baths, chakra work.
Or even just things that bring you real joy.
Yeah, anything that genuinely uplifts you. The idea is to deliberately raise your personal vibration so you attract more of what you want. Because attracts energetically.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So the advice for listeners, it really comes down to awareness and intention. Pay attention to your intuitive vibrations. And pay attention to the vibrations you generate through thoughts and actions. Become an observer of your inner state, your feelings, your dominant thoughts, and how that interacts with the outside world.
Notice that gut feeling.
Yeah.
Or that buzz of excitement.
Yes. And to really use this rule to attract your desires, the bottom line is you must match your vibration with the vibration of what you want.
Not just think about it, but feel it.
Exactly. It's not just intellectual wanting. You got to resonate with it emotionally, energetically.
Yeah.
Embody the feeling of having it now to draw it to you.
Okay, let's tackle the big one now. The most famous, maybe the most misunderstood. The law of attraction.
Ah, yes, the celebrity law.
Right. It builds directly on vibration. The basic idea is simple. Vibrations of the same frequency attract each other. High vibe thoughts and feelings attract high vibe experiences. Low vibe attracts low vibe. Simple enough.
Seems straightforward.
So why? Why do so many people feel like it doesn't work for them? Trying to attract love, a job, money, and nothing happens.
Yeah, that's a common complaint.
Our source points to two big missing pieces. First, they do not realize that there are 11 other laws working with this law.
Ah, so it's not standalone. It's part of the system we talked about.
Exactly. It's not a magic wand. And the second crucial piece, they do not match the frequency of their desires. It is not enough to want it. You need to merge the frequencies you want.
Merge the frequencies. Okay, so it's deeper than just wanting.
Way deeper than wishful thinking.
Right, and that distinction is key. We get what we vibe, not what we ask for.
Vibe, not ask.
Sure. The source uses this great story about Brad. Brad wants his dream partner, right? He's affirming it, thinking about it, but his daily conversation, all complaints. Dating apps suck. Nobody good is out there. Past relationships were awful.
Uh-oh. So his words don't match his wish.
Exactly. Brad's suspicion is at odds with the frequency of the love he seeks. He's actually radiating scarcity, frustration, hurt, not love and openness. The law of vibration is working, just not for his stated desire.
So what's the fix for Brad? Fake it till you make it.
I'm not really faking it. It's about genuinely needing to clean up his own personal energy around the theme of love.
Oh.
Align his thoughts and actions with it. He has to find a way to truly change his path from frustration to love, address the underlying vibe.
Inner work.
Always. The broader lesson is being positive, proactive, and loving will bring more of the same. Pessimism, fear, and lethargy will cause more negative experiences. And crucially, you have to believe it's possible.
Belief is key.
Totally. If you say affirmations, but deep down you're like, yeah, right, the source says, it is useless. Your core vibration isn't matching.
This actually connects surprisingly well with, quantum physics concepts, doesn't it? Not directly causing manifestation, maybe, but the idea that everything's energy, vibrational frequency,
That underlying energy field.
all its stuff is mostly empty space with energy dancing around. And for us, that means our thoughts, the things we really believe, focus on, they eventually get embedded in our subconscious and become our vibration.
The subconscious running the show.
Yeah, it's the control center for our vibe. That's why someone who genuinely feels positive inside radiates that outwards. They have that positive aura that attracts similar energy. It starts deep down.
It's not superficial.
Not at all. And the law of attraction isn't a punishment, the source says. It's a very clear mirror of our self-esteem and mentality.
I'm here.
Your current reality. It's the result of past decisions, past vibes. But the empowering part is you're fully capable of making other decisions now to attract something different.
You can change the reflection by changing yourself.
Exactly. It's about self-awareness and intentional creation.
So the advice here is pretty powerful. It's a reminder of your own magnetic nature. You are a magnet, and your experience is the embodiment of the energy you release, consciously or unconsciously. Look around.
Yeah.
Realize that you are attracting the real environment you live in at the moment.
Wow. Take responsibility for your reality.
Yeah, not as blame, but as power. Look at what you're sending out, because that's what's coming back.
Okay, next up, the law of correspondence. This one has that really cool ancient mantra.
Oh, yes. As above, so below. As within, so without.
Exactly. The core idea is pretty direct. Your inner world will determine what manifests in your outer world.
Inner creates outer.
Which is why the source emphasizes doing that inner work first is so critical. But the tricky bit is actually knowing what is going on inside, right? We often have these subconscious limiting beliefs, maybe from childhood, running the show without us realizing it.
Those hidden programs.
Yeah, they dictate our outer reality.
The source gives a really good example with money, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. So many people want more money. Consciously, but maybe subconsciously, they're tangled up in these restrictive beliefs, like feeling there's never enough money, or getting jealous when others succeed, or saying, must be nice, with that hint of envy.
That underlying feeling of lack.
Right. Vibrations of fear and lack. And if that's the dominant inner vibe, it doesn't attract abundance. It manifests outwardly as parking tickets, unexpected bills, things breaking down, which just reinforces the belief.
Vicious cycle.
Totally. Wayne Dyer said it perfectly. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are.
What you are vibrationally.
Exactly. So the solution. We must first align ourselves with the inner vibration of abundance, and then the outer reality will begin to respond accordingly.
Inner alignment first.
And meditation is suggested as a great tool for this, to clear and calm your mind and become aware of those hidden beliefs.
Makes sense. Quieting the noise to hear the subconscious.
This law also ties back to divine oneness, showing how patterns repeat themselves throughout the universe.
Fractals almost.
Yeah, like spiral galaxies way out there, and the patterns in our own thinking and lives right here. It encourages you to look for patterns in your own life, and see how they repeat themselves.
Noticing your recurring themes.
And the mantra for this law gives a huge perspective shift. It happened for you, not to you.
Ooh, that's powerful. Shifting from victim to learner.
Exactly. It's not about blame, it's about empowerment. If your inner state is chaos, your outer life reflects chaos. Cultivate inner peace. Your outer life reflects peace.
So when things get tough,
Ask, what did this situation show me about myself? What needs healing inside?
it reframes challenges as opportunities for growth.
Turning problems into feedback. Love that.
Right. Our reality really is the result of our most dominant inner thoughts.
You know, most people have heard that saying, your external world reflects your internal world.
It's pretty common. Well, this law of correspondence is basically the how behind that saying. It explains it on an energetic level. If your inner world is full of negativity or doubt, the outer world mirrors it.
So you need to change the inside first.
Yeah, you need a paradigm shift, transforming those deep subconscious negative thoughts into positive ones. That's what leads to success, happiness, and positive results showing up externally.
How do you activate this law then?
The advice is to really understand your own patterns, often passed down through family or society, and then consciously take steps to break them. It takes conscious choice and effort to rewire that inner landscape.
So, summing it up, if you want to change your external environment, you must do the inner work first.
Yeah.
Stand still, clarify, and watch your situation begin to change. As above, so below.
Inner mastery leads to outer transformation. Powerful.
Okay, law number 5. This one tackles a big misconception about the law of attraction.
Ah, yes, the action part.
Exactly. The source puts it bluntly. Sitting on your butt and thinking about things, manifestation won't work like that.
Right. Wishful thinking isn't enough.
While getting your vibe right is crucial, it takes inspired action to get real results. And the key is inspired action.
What makes it inspired?
It's action that aligns with your passion, what excites you. It might still be challenging, but it feels enjoyable, energizing. It doesn't have that heavy sense of struggle with frustration and anxiety you get with tasks you feel forced to do.
So it flows from your desire. It's not forcing against resistance.
Exactly, moving with it.
You know, anyone who's achieved something significant, they'll talk about the blood, sweat, and tears, right?
The hard work.
But the source makes a really important distinction here. That hard work isn't the same as suffering. It uses writers as an example. Hours go by unnoticed because their work is a labor of love.
They're in the zone, the flow state.
Exactly. They work hard, pour energy in, but it's fulfilling, not draining. Their achievement isn't just the final book. It's what they have learned in the process, the growth, the mastery.
The journey itself.
Yeah. Jen Sincero nails it. Your desires are brought to you via thought, and you receive them by deciding to take action.
Thought plants the seed, action makes it grow.
Pretty much. Even the smallest actions will bring greater opportunities. They start a chain reaction towards your goals. The key is using your intuition, not overthinking it or getting in your own way.
Trusting that nut.
And choosing to see hard work, not as a struggle, but as a process of mastery. Reframing effort as growth.
It's so clear how this links directly to the law of attraction, like they're partners.
Absolutely necessary partners.
People who only focus on visualizing often wish they'd known about the law of action sooner. It stresses that just visualizing and having a positive attitude great for setting the vibe isn't the whole story.
Still need to do something.
You must also take inspiring steps. Big or small, those steps will immediately help you attract what you're looking for. It's the physical bridge from energy to reality.
Makes perfect sense. It grounds the whole process. And that inspired action, it often comes from the heart, right? It's like a gentle internal nudge.
Not always a detailed battle plan.
No. Sometimes it's just the next logical, intuitive step. The advice is to practice this by intentionally slowing down, getting quiet, creating space for inner guidance.
Letting go of the need to control every detail.
Exactly. When you let go of needing to organize and control everything, it opens up space for new ways to achieve goals, ways you might not have thought of, allows for synchronicity.
Perfect summary, vision board. Great for alignment. But it is more important to take practical steps to bring yourself closer to your vision. You need both.
So a really practical takeaway for you listening. Take inventory of what you do daily. Do your actions actually match up with your desires? If they do, does it feel like a challenge or a struggle?
Challenge good, struggle bad. Pretty much. Challenge stretches you, fuels growth, but constant struggle. That's a sign you need to ease up, check your alignment, and maybe find a more inspired way forward. All right, law number 6, the law of cause and effect. This one feels pretty intuitive, but it's deep.
Yeah, it shows up everywhere.
The basic idea, our intentions, our actions, influence what happened the next, is so omnipresent it appears in many other spiritual traditions. Karma is the obvious example, right?
The big one.
And the source points out almost every culture has some version of you reap what you sow, or what goes around comes around.
Universal wisdom.
Connecting back to divine oneness, it reminds us everything we think or do is not in isolation. We are all connected energetically.
The ripple effect again.
Exactly. So whether it is good or bad, our thoughts and actions will eventually be reflected back to us in some way. They shape our reality. Emerson said it well. Shallow men believe in luck. Strong men believe in cause and effect.
Understanding you're creating your future.
Yeah, taking ownership.
The source gives really clear examples for this one. If you want to be loved, love the people around you. If you want abundance, give generously. If you want health, you must eat well and exercise.
Seems obvious, right?
Yeah.
So why is it hard sometimes?
Well, the source suggests it's often a lack of awareness of our own actions, thoughts, and intentions. We're on autopilot, often in a self-driving state, not realizing we can consciously choose different causes to get different effects.
Not realizing our power in the moment.
Exactly. And this directly challenges that victim mentality. Screaming, "Why me?" is described as a low-vibration victim mentality that just attracts more victim experiences.
So what's the alternative?
Take a deep breath and ask a more empowering question. What did I do to contribute to this? Or what's the lesson here for me?
Taking responsibility.
When we take responsibility instead of being victims, we see we're not puppets. In fact, we are puppet masters, capable of directing things through our choices.
That's a huge shift in perspective, from puppet to puppet master. And it's not just about physical actions, is it? Our inner life matters too.
Absolutely. Your spiritual, emotional state affects the world around you, causing positive or negative reactions. And vice versa, your physical environment affects your spirituality.
A two-way street.
Yeah. It encourages you to look at that relationship between inner and outer and see what you want to change. But here's a key point, maybe a frustrating one sometimes.
What's that?
The effects aren't always immediate. The important thing is that we usually cannot see the effects immediately, but they will eventually appear.
Requires patience and trust.
Definitely.
Yeah.
There's a quote about the ripple effect. What you put out there may not come back to you in that moment, but that vibration has a ripple effect. If you're coming from anger or resentment, you'll eventually be affected as a result.
The energy always circles back, sooner or later.
Exactly. But the practical advice for you listening, consistently look at your life and see how your intentions, thoughts, and actions contribute to what you experience. Self-reflection is key.
Become aware of the causes you're setting in motion.
Next time, seize the opportunity to make a better decision and then watch those negative situations turn into positive ones. Focus on sending out only good vibrations because it affects everyone and determines your future effects.
Okay, moving on to law number 7, the law of compensation. This sounds related to cause and effect.
It is, yeah, like an extension of it, but focused specifically on the rewards.
Rewards in the material world, it says, like abundance, relationships, opportunity.
Exactly. The core idea is we will be blessed based on the good deeds we do and the value we provide.
So you get back what you put out in terms of value.
Pretty much. But here's an important twist. Compensation isn't just money or stuff.
Okay. What else?
It includes all kinds of blessings. Things like good health, loyal friends, loving families, teachers or mentors, job opportunities, $1 million ideas, the whole package.
So it's a holistic return for the value you contribute.
Right. And the source challenges that mindset of just doing the bare minimum or giving people only what they deserve transactionally.
Yeah. What does it suggest instead?
A shift to over-delivery, consistently exceeding expectations, providing exceptional value. If we do that, we will be compensated accordingly.
Going above and beyond attracts more back.
It builds this trust that we will be compensated for our work as long as we're open to receiving in all the many ways that the universe can deliver. And again, it's not just about job stuff. It includes all your contributions, including the love, joy, and kindness you spread.
So every positive contribution creates space for blessings to flow back.
Exactly. Like creating an energetic vacuum that the universe fills, often in surprising ways.
So the advice here seems pretty straightforward but powerful.
Very. You get what you put into life, so whatever you do, do your best. Strive to be the best you can be generous and kind, and then when it comes back, accept it graciously.
Be open to receiving. Don't block the blessings.
Right. And to specifically attract more love and support, the Source suggests asking yourself, where am I called today to serve and support others?
Focus on giving to activate receiving.
Exactly.
All right, law number 8. This one sounds powerful, especially if you feel stuck. The law of perpetual transmutation of energy.
Big words, simple concept, really.
We've talked a lot about energy, high vibes, but life happens, right? Life throws us curveballs that just plain suck. Moments of frustration, sadness.
Totally. It's unavoidable.
Well, this law is like a reassurance. It says there's nothing to be scared of because energy is usually in flux. And better still, you've got the power to transmute.
You can change the energy. That's huge. No state is permanent unless you cling to it.
Exactly. You're not stuck.
The Source calls this a superpower, and it kind of is the core idea. Energy flows where attention goes.
Where you focus, energy flows.
Right. So, who is the thinker of your thoughts? You are. By consciously choosing thoughts that serve you, you can transmute negative vibes first into neutral ones, then into the happier territory.
Shifting gears internally.
Viktor Frankl's quote fits perfectly. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response.
In our response lies our growth and our freedom. Love that.
It's so true. Think about Dwayne the barista again. Gets fired, boyfriend leaves.
Yeah.
He's allowed to feel angry, sad, gotta acknowledge it.
Can't bypass the feelings.
No. But the difference is acknowledging versus wallowing. Eventually, Dwayne can choose to upgrade his thoughts. Maybe the job wasn't right anyway, now he can find better. Maybe Ben was messy, now the apartment's clean.
Finding the potential positive shift.
Exactly. It doesn't happen overnight, the Source says. It's small steps, but you are redirecting the energy flow.
And energy is always moving anyway, right? Even if we don't see it.
Constantly. At the atomic level, everything's in flux, never static. And a key insight here is that high vibrations trigger improvements in low vibrations.
Like catching a good mood from someone.
Yeah. If you're feeling low and hang out with a cheerful, encouraging friend, their high frequency will naturally trigger energy transmutation in you. Their vibe lifts yours.
Energetic influence.
And it links back to thoughts, too. Every action starts with a thought, and thoughts themselves have the ability to eventually manifest. Our inner energy landscape is powerful.
You know how sometimes you feel drained around a really negative person?
Oh, yeah. That's lower frequencies pulling yours down if you're not grounded.
But this law says it works the other way, too.
Exactly. Higher frequencies transmute lower ones when applied with intention. We can consciously choose to uplift negative energy around us with our thoughts and actions.
Be the positive influence.
Yeah. There's this great quote. This law means that even the smallest action can have a profound effect, like the seed of a mighty tree. You also have the power within you to move mountains.
Wow. Small actions, big power.
Totally. It encourages small daily things. Singing in the shower, dancing like nobody's watching, deep breaths, choosing a slightly better thought. These add up.
So the advice is really empowering.
Hugely. You always have the ability to trigger positive change by choosing a better feeling thought. Be aware of the stories you tell yourself and upgrade them. Get closer to where you would like to be instead of keeping you stuck.
Your thoughts are your superpower. Transmute your reality. Okay, law number 9, the law of relativity. This one feels like it could really change your perspective on things.
Definitely a perspective shifter. The core idea is kind of radical.
Yeah.
Experiences are not inherently good or bad, they are neutral.
Neutral. But things feel good or bad.
Right. But the law says it's our perception, our thoughts, emotions, judgments, and especially comparisons that labels them. Comparing them is the reason for creating good and bad labels.
It's the comparison that creates the label.
Okay. The Source has that great example. You wake up late, phone's dead, coffee's wrong. Thanks, Dwayne. That's it, a speeding ticket. Feels like a terrible morning. Right?
Absolutely awful.
But then there's George, the homeless guy outside who would be happy to swap place with you because he doesn't have a bed, job, car, or coffee money. Instantly reframes it, doesn't it?
Wow. Yeah, it really does. Puts it in perspective.
Oprah said it well. If you look at what you have,
Yeah.
you'll always have more. If you look at what you don't have, you'll never have enough. Perspective dictates experience.
So a situation isn't inherently good or bad. It's how we see it based on comparisons.
Exactly. A good or bad situation is not a fundamental truth, it's just a perception. You might feel poor only because your 3 wealthy uncles set your benchmark. Without that comparison, maybe your situation is fine.
So the law encourages seeing multiple perspectives.
Yes. It helps you feel more grateful and also helps you objectively identify where you can improve without all the heavy judgment. Ultimately, we are the ones who give meaning to things, so we can choose to see things as bad or as good for us.
The power is in the interpretation.
Bingo.
Applying this seems like it could really build compassion too, right? For ourselves even.
Totally. If you feel ungrateful about your house, it's usually because you're comparing it to someone else's or some ideal. This law says, try to appreciate what we have without having to compare it.
Let go of the external benchmarks.
It reiterates, there is nothing good or bad. Everything is a series of expressions, and there is more than one point of view. Frees you from rigid judgments.
So the advice is super practical for shifting mindset.
Incredibly. Looking at a bad situation from a different perception can actually help you transmute it into gratitude. However bad it feels, someone, somewhere, has it worse, instead of feeling like a victim.
Reframe it to feel gratitude.
Yeah. Not denying your feelings, but choosing a more empowering lens changes your whole energy around it.
Law number 10, the law of polarity. Everything has an opposite.
The two sides of the coin. A fundamental truth.
It asks those questions that make you think, how would you know heat without cold? Joy without sadness?
Right. You need a contrast to understand the experience.
You need one to experience the other, and this is the essence of polarity. It actually encourages gratitude for the bad stuff, because that's what lets us appreciate the good.
Like those cold and dreary winters making spring feel so amazing.
Exactly. The Kabbalion quote sums it up. All truths are but half-truths. There are two sides to everything. Opposites are identical in nature, yet different in degree.
Identical in nature, different in degree. Like hot and cold are both temperature, just different ends of the scale.
Right. It's a spectrum.
And we can apply this directly to emotions. It's often through loss and despair, like losing someone to illness, that we can learn to truly appreciate our health and cherish time with loved ones.
The contrast highlights the value.
Without sadness, how do we know what happiness is like? They define each other. The source stresses all our human emotions serve a greater purpose, whether they feel good or not.
Even the uncomfortable ones have a purpose.
Yeah. We tend to resist or suppress them, right? Because they hurt. But if we move past that resistance, allow the feeling, there's often important information that will help in our emotional and personal growth.
Lessons hidden in the discomfort. Remembering this law seems like it would really help with resilience during tough times.
Definitely. Knowing it's one side of the polarity helps you trust that it won't last forever and helps you truly appreciate the good development ahead.
Like a bad breakup. Painful, yes, but it will teach you what does not work and help you find what works, leading to something better eventually.
The contrast provides clarity.
Which leads to the mantra. All contrast brings more clarity. When things are tough, tune into what the opposite looks like. It might reveal a new perspective, a lesson, the way forward.
Finding the signal in the noise.
Yeah. It reinforces that nothing is completely wrong, no matter how you look at it. There's always a lesson or a positive outcome possible.
So the advice for listeners is really about emotional processing. Negative emotions are inevitable, but necessary. The goal is to accept the emotion instead of focusing on resisting it. Accept it and focus on how it can help you move on. Polarity helps us identify what we don't want so that we can be more aware of what we do want.
Struggles become signposts for desires.
Exactly. Purposeful contrast.
Okay, law 11, the law of rhythm. This one feels connected to polarity too, the ebb and flow.
Absolutely. The core idea, nothing is permanent. Everything happens in cycles.
You see it everywhere in nature, right? Earth around the sun, moon cycles, seasons, tides, day and night. Birth, growth, decay.
Constant cycles, undeniable rhythm.
And it applies to human stuff, too. Stock market ups and downs, political trends, our own life phases. Each stage has a purpose, but they're all part of a bigger flow.
That Sandy Anna quote is great. To be interested in the changing of the seasons is a happier state of mind than to be hopelessly in love with the spring.
Accepting the whole cycle, not just the easy parts.
Exactly. And linking back to polarity, we often cling to the good phases, bull markets, long summers, because they feel nice.
Naturally.
But the source reminds us we actually need other stages. They are part of a larger whole, needed for balance and growth. This law teaches patience. Everything has its time.
Trust the process because the trend is always reversing.
Right. And it applies inwardly, too. Our thoughts, moods, emotions always changing, stuck in a bad mood. The mantra, "This will not last forever," comes from this law.
Remembering impermanence.
Yeah. And remembering that fosters a mindset of gratitude, which is a high vibe itself. Think of the frustrated gardener planting in October versus waiting for spring. Resisting the rhythm brings struggle. If you can learn to go with the flow, we will be much happier.
Makes sense. Stop fighting the current. This also highlights listening to our internal rhythms, doesn't it? Not just pushing constantly.
So important. Integration is as important as growth. We can't be at peak performance 204/7. It asks, do you feel depleted? Maybe it's better to give yourself rest instead of powering through. Avoid burnout by respecting your cycles.
Honoring the need for rest and integration.
The universe's energy is like a pendulum. Swings left, must swing right. It's a dance. Everything is either growing or dying, part of these natural rhythms and cycles.
Understanding this really helps you master the flow, doesn't it? Not get tossed around by it.
Totally. You learn how to rise on negative cycles, to never be overexcited by temporary highs, nor let lows dominate your mind. The key is how to maintain a balance through it all.
Like those companies that thrive in recessions.
Exactly, is a luck. Or their ability to overcome negative situations and see opportunities, adapting to the rhythm.
Finding growth in every phase.
So the advice is beautiful. When things are going well, appreciate it, go with the flow. When things don't go well, know that better days are right in front of you. Learn to observe the ebb and flow patiently, having faith that there is a time for everything.
Trust the rhythm of life. And finally, the 12th law, the law of gender. This sounds intriguing.
It is. It's foundational for creation. It says creation requires both yin and yang, masculine and feminine energy, in equilibrium to create anything.
Like the obvious example, sexual reproduction. Need both energies for new life.
Right. But it goes beyond biology. Energetically, no creation converting an idea into reality is possible without the balance of male and female energy. It's the universal blueprint for bringing anything into being.
Okay, but this isn't about male, female people.
Crucial point, no. All beings have a combination of male and female energies, and we must balance them within ourselves. It has nothing to do with our sex or sexuality. It's about energetic archetypes.
What are those archetypes like?
Masculine energy is described as dynamic, focused, creative, practical, farsighted. The doing, building, logical energy. Unbalanced. Can be controlling, angry, conflict-driven.
Okay. And feminine?
Feminine energy is receptive, intuitive, intelligent, nurturing. The flowing, feeling, guiding energy, unbalanced. Can be fragile, indecisive, weak.
So the key is balance.
The trick is to balance these energies. Only when both are used correctly can we manifest our desires. Combining vision with intuition, action with receptivity.
This also brings in the idea of gestation period for desires, connecting back to rhythm.
Yes. Just like a seed needs time or a baby needs 9 months, our creations need nurturing time before they manifest. The source asks, are you willing to wait, or do you want the baby 1 week after conception?
Good point. Patience is needed.
Because everything created was first a seedling of thought, nurtured by the male and female energy for a period of time, gestation, before it becomes a reality. Can't force it. Cultivate, then allow.
So law of gender applies to everything. Yin and yang everywhere.
Yeah, everything has both principles. Psychologically, everyone is androgynous, with both characteristics. Left brain, right brain, logic and intuition.
How do we master this balance?
The advice includes keeping your ego in check. Let the ego handle practical stuff, but don't let it dominate your emotional, intuitive side, the feminine energy. Mastering this lets you create a better balance. And everything, personally and professionally, will flow much easier.
Inner energetic congruence. So the final advice is to embrace your male and female energies, achieve a balance that nourishes and tends your ideas during the inevitable gestational period before their manifestation.
Initiate and nurture. Push and allow. Hashtag outro.
Wow. Okay. There you have it, our deep dive into the 12 universal laws. That was a lot of ground to cover.
It really was a comprehensive look.
And I know if you're listening, you might feel a little overwhelmed right now. That's totally okay.
Absolutely. Don't feel pressured.
The material really stressed that the goal isn't to perfectly analyze and apply every single one right away. It's more about understanding and conceptualizing them in a meaningful way for you.
Integrating the core wisdom.
Yeah. Grasp the concept, keep them in mind to learn how to use them, or just recognize them in your everyday life. It's a journey, right? Not a test.
Exactly. Journey of awareness. And now that they've been laid out like this, you'll likely start noticing them more. They'll appear in your life over and over again, but now with more clarity.
Seeing the pattern.
Our whole mission here was to give you that roadmap we talked about, a way to potentially master life on all levels, get insights into reaching your goals more easily, more intentionally.
A path to greater well-being, happiness, success.
Understanding these laws, how they connect, it really does offer that deeper, more informed path. You've got a powerful new lens now.
So as you go about your day, maybe with this new awareness, here's something to chew on. If every single thought, every action, every emotion creates those ripples we talked about across this interconnected universe, what kind of world are you consciously choosing to build, moment by moment?
A powerful final thought.
Keep exploring, keep learning, keep applying these ideas to your own unique journey.